Want to welcome everyone back. We're still live on site here at Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, and we are here with Rebecca Williams, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the costuming for the Marvel Universe show. Rebecca, how are you today?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. We're so thankful that you guys have gotten us out here. You got so much cool stuff. I see all these cool costumes. Can you tell us a little bit about what the show's performers are going to be wearing and kind of some of the history of some of the costumes we're looking at?
Yes, of course. So our costumes, the costumes behind me are all part of our ensemble members, but they all let you know where in the Marvel Universe we are, because we go from New York City to the outreaches of the galaxy to Kunlun. So like you never know where you are unless you see who's there. So some of our costumes behind us, I'm actually going to start with this guy right here. This is actually one of our female aerialists from our Kunlun area. So Kunlun is where we meet our Iron Fist. And at the top of Kunlun, they're having a celebration of sorts. We're not exactly sure what they're celebrating, but they're having a big party. So because you have a big party, you have to have a little glitz and glam. And our aerialists are a good example of that glitz and glam themselves. I myself did all the rhinestoning on it, if I like to mention. I do like the rhinestones. So they're having a party. We have a couple of the traditional like Chinese lions that come out and they do a dance and they're having a party, and then their party gets interrupted. I'm not going to give too much away because I want you all to come out and see the show. But we also have some of our stone soldiers, also from our Kunlun area. Once again, not gonna give too much away, but they do really good job of looking like stone, but they're actually pretty light. You can see I can actually pick it up with my pinky, and I'm a strong girl, but my pinky's not that strong. But our Kunlun stone soldiers are actually just made of a hard, heavy foam that helps give the look of stone without actually being stone, and it's kind of twisting on the hanger here. But they're really convincing being stone. We actually have 2 female and 2 male stone soldiers, but the people that are in them might not be female or male, so it kind of gives you we like to toss it up a little.
The mystery demons.
Yes, definitely. So another set of our costumes are our fire tribe. So we have our fire tribe, and they're in the Savage Land.
Oh, wonderful. Longtime Marvel fans would be interested to see this.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're not familiar with the Savage Land, it's part of Antarctica, and it's warm. There are dinosaurs roaming the world. Actually, Black Panther leads the heroes to the Savage Land, which is kind of cool. And they're doing a huge fire dance, which is really awesome. And then leads into a firefight, which is kind of cool as well. I'm not going to give away who does that firefight.
Fascinating detailing there with the bone structures. What are actually those
made out of? These are just foam bones.
Wow.
But they look really solid, and they look like bone. And
I would think those are actual dinosaur bones.
Right?
Very cool.
The rest of the costumes are made out of cottons and leathers, and then the base layers of spandex, because we need them to fit tightly as possible, and that's what we do, spandex. So the spandex layers are all fire treated. The majority of our costumes here in the show are fire treated. We have to keep our performers' safety in mind first. And then as well as the outer layers are a lot of leather and cottons. Leather and cottons are natural fibers. They're less likely to catch fire immediately. They're also fire treated as well because, once again, safety first. And then some of the final costumes I have here on my rack are some of our Ravagers. So Marvel fans will recognize the Ravagers from our Guardians of the Galaxy section. They're part of Yondu's ship and Yondu's tribe, essentially, or his crew. And what's cool about the Ravager costumes is each Ravager is different. So they all have their own sketches. They all have a little bit different things about them. As you can see, this guy's a little more maroon, this guy's a little more red. But they also have things like leathers and suedes and cottons too. Some of them have velvets even. So like fabrics you wouldn't necessarily expect to see on a dirty Ravager, but cool nonetheless. Some of the detailing is also done by hand as well. And all of our costumes have also been painted, hand painted. There are about 800 hours of hand painting. So it's like watching the show 453 times, I believe. Yeah, it's a lot. It's kind of fun.
Very, very cool. Even Starhawk will like you in one of these. And if if we have an opportunity, you have so many of these interesting headpieces over here.
Right. So the three on the right, well, the majority of them, the leather pieces are all once again part of our fire tribe. So you've got the three leather headpieces, part of our fire tribe, as well as the gauntlets in front, and then the stone soldier guy on the end. They're all really pretty cool. And then we have some more of our sketches done by our designer Mark Koss, who apparently went to college here in the Bay Area. So
There he is. Stand up.
I'm telling you. So some of his original artwork is displayed on the table, some of the fire tribe, as well as the stone soldier. And then here on the rack, we have some of our ravagers. And then we have some of our creatures that are from the Collector's Museum. So we go to the Collector's Museum, the Guardians go to the Collector's Museum, and some of the creatures end up getting released, which is kind of fun. So we have this guy here who's a little bouncy guy, and actually he's been nicknamed by the performer as Brenda. It's not her official name, but it's her nickname. And she's kind of scary. And then we have another guy on the rack who kind of looks like a mutated piranha. He bounces around. He's one of our bounce stilt creatures, and we actually have two other creatures that I don't have photos of. They're called our four-legged creatures, and technically I guess they should be eight-legged creatures because they're attached, and they're kind of attached to one another, but they're really kind of cool. They look like big lobsters of doom.
And what's the prep time for production of this size? How long were you guys first in the initial planning stages, and then getting all the materials and getting it all together?
I believe it was announced within the company that they'd be doing another Marvel Universe Live, especially to the big department heads as early as about 2 years ago, because the prep time for these type things does take about 2 to 3 years, because you have to find the creative team, you have to find your director, you have to find your designers, and then from there, within the costume realm, once you find the designer reads the script, meets with the director, meets with the production team, the production company, meets with the Felds, meets with Marvel to be able to figure out what they want these characters to look like. As you can imagine, things like Captain America and Spider-Man and all of our heroes and all of our villains, they have specific looks, because being a Marvel fan, you would know they go through many incarnations. So Marvel has to have a set design on which incarnation of Black Widow they want you to see, which incarnation of Captain America they want you to see, so that they have the end all be all say on those characters. But it's these ensemble members that the designer can really get creative with. So once he designs the designs, they go out to the Felds and to Marvel to be approved. Once they're approved by them, they go into production through different costume houses. We have about 10 to 15 costume houses that work on everything from leather, electrics, because we have electrics in costumes, to other really cool pieces, to our prosthetics. We have a guy that just does prosthetics for the show. One of our costume our costume houses recently won a Tony for costume construction. It's something that's never happened. Sally Ann Parsons won I think it's the most. It was like it was like an honorary kind of award. I can't remember the exact title at the moment, but she won an award, which, like I said, once again, has never been done. But it does take quite a talent to turn them in from those sketches to what you'll see in the shows. And then once the costume houses get them done, they hand them off to us, and we begin making sure that the performers can change. And we'll do a couple of quick fixes to them that might involve a little extra rigging to make sure performers can get in and out of them really fast.
I was about to say, it's just an incredible production from start to finish, and so much intricacy, so much style and beauty to it. I know right away there's a million people watching this, hopefully.
Yeah.
Who are going to
5
be
million people.
who are going to be asking, how do you get into this? What was your background in terms of getting involved in design and production for a show like this?
Okay, so I went to school for design and construction, costume design and construction. I went to Louisiana State University, go Tigers. And once I graduated college, I wanted to get in the realm of touring, because either after college, there's grad school and what other things you can do. And some of the best advice I was given is, get on a show first, see if that's what you really want to do, because you don't want to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars on grad school if it doesn't work out for you in the end. So I started doing some local work, which is I got on with a locals company, and they help touring productions when they come into certain venues. So I worked in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette with different touring productions, whether it be theater or concerts, different big events that came through, and it helped them whatever they need done. And then from there, I learned some of the companies that were looking for wardrobe help, and one of them was Feld Entertainment. Feld Entertainment is the company that owns Marvel Universe Live, as well as Disney Live, Disney on Ice, Monster Jam, Monster Trucks, and they also owned Ringling Brothers and own currently Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, as you know, has recently been closed. That was my job for 9 years. I got my first job on the circus. I worked circus 9 years, and it definitely well prepared me for this because. Circus, you see some incidents like no other, as well as accidents and all sorts of other things, and accidents in terms of costume accidents. It definitely well prepared me for coming here when the announcement was made. Our company did a really good job of helping some people find jobs. Some people they could, some people they couldn't. It just depended on if you were specifically a union member or not. So luckily they had a job here for me in Marvel, and I came here, and it's been great. I love every minute of it.
Well, and again, it's a fascinating behind the scenes look, because so many of us have been to these live shows, but seeing the whole background of it is just fascinating. And again, thank you for sharing about the both the staff and the performers from Ringling Brothers. An institution has passed, but it's good to see that there is a tradition living on in this sort of costuming. And you guys will be here for the weekend of the 11th through the 13th.
Correct. Yes, we open tomorrow night.
Wow. So how's the pre-opening stages? Are you guys getting amped up? Are we really prepared to see the show get full? I'm excited.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, today is our last day of load-in, so as soon as I get done here, I'm gonna pack up and bring it all in. We set up the wardrobes, we set up laundry, make sure things get clean. As you can imagine, lots of smelly performers, but it's not their fault. God bless them, it's not their fault. So we make sure things get clean, things get repaired, so that tomorrow night, when y'all come out to see the show, I'll be prepared to see the show.
And again, like I said, to be here in Oracle Arena the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. We'll be also in the San Jose area the upcoming weekend, and also in Sacramento. So it's going to be here all over Northern California. Make sure you get out here. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Rebecca, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great time, and best of luck with the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for your time, and thank you guys for being with us through these live setups here at Oracle. We'll be back a little bit later on today with some additional information, as well as some other great stuff concerning Marvel Universe Live. This is Jason Stewart from 7 Minute Takes, and I'll catch you on the flip side.